we had Jay Gruden tweeted out last night. There's no chance Jay Gruden thought that this was going to happen. But so Jay Gruden tweets out last night that, here we go. I'm going to share my screen. Pretty much, if I ever did this to a quarterback, I am so sorry. He's talking about Dak Prescott and was it Dak Prescott he was referring to? Or no, sorry, Jalen Hurts. This was last night. Jalen Hurts being pressured every single down pretty much. And said, if I did this to you, I am sincerely sorry. Protect him. And RG3 took the moment to clap back at our good friend Jay. Someone help me get this up. I'm not going to lie. Oh, here we go. So I'm going to share my screen, and then we're going to do this like we just did with Brad. Boom. So
no,
here's Pat McAfee.
Jay Gruden, former head coach of the Washington.
That football
Today's
franchise.
not the day.
Football franchise.
Okay, but when he was coaching, we get it.
That team.
In his Twitter bio, he is not okay. It's the news. What do you want from me?
Wikipedia hasn't changed either.
Anyways, he gave a little bit of punditry last night on the game about what they're doing to this quarterback. If I ever put a quarterback through what Philly is putting Jalen through, I apologize, by the way. Pick up a blitz, proper spacing after the period, which I appreciate. That actually might have been a 4-piece space afterwards.
Looks like it.
Old school Microsoft Word typing was 2 spaces after a period. Jay Gruden just wanted to make sure he dotted his I's, crossed his T's, and spaced after his periods. And we appreciate that. So then RG3 said, that's funny, huh? Say, what? I think is how that is.
Nailed it.
Exactly pronounced. With glasses down. Doing excuse me. Look, if you do recall, by the way, RG3 Jay Gruden, head coach, OC quarterback, whenever RG3 was drafted number 2 overall, after the Washington football team traded everything they had to the Rams to get up there after Andrew Luck was drafted to the Indianapolis Colts, number 1 overall. So then Jay Gruden had to respond for himself because that had over like 10 million views very quickly. You weren't prepared, Robert?
Oh!
Is that the case? Jay Gruden asked Robert Griffin. Robert Griffin responds. He goes, you told me you didn't know how to coach a quarterback who could throw and run like me. So it looks like you weren't prepared, Jay.
Oh!
Wow. Whew. I mean, a little verbal joust back and forth. RG3 did post that photo, same as the other photo. RG3's in his bag on X. All the time. All the time. So Jay Gruden gets dunked on seemingly by RG3. Now, will Jay Gruden have a rebuttal? We shall see. We do know that somebody else got into the game.
Yes.
That's a Washington football team member of Hall of Fame over there. Brian
Mitchell.
He goes, are you serious, Jay? Okay, he's talking to Jay here, not RG3. Dude, please just effing disappear. Okay? Didn't want to swear because kids are on here.
Nice guy.
Which I appreciate. But wanted to get his point across that if he was to swear, it would be in this moment just to say you need to disappear.
So what, just an interesting, probably not how Jay Gruden imagined his Monday night going. I wish there was like a camera, like a live feed to see Jay Gruden's reaction when he got the notification that RG3 responded the first time. And then that was bad enough. I don't think I would respond to that if I was Jay. I think you got to just take your loss there. Giving him the alley-oop for the second one, that was brutal.
Yeah, no, it was. I think silence would have been more of the way I would have gone in that, because it's like you're going to get dunked on either way. But for RG3 to come out and say that with it, I think Jay Gruden probably reacted the way RG3's first meme was when he had the glasses down and he was like wide-eyed, and he was like that's what I would have been like reading that, because I would have been like, oh damn, just sparked a lot of conversation on Twitter or X or whatever you call it here. So
and then here's the rest of the Brian Mitchell thing.
I are a punt returner. Be quiet.
He said, I think he meant, aren't you a punt returner? I think he was.
It's like
I was way better at all of my jobs than you were at any of yours. You are a joke.
That means that players either didn't respect him at the time. They definitely don't respect him now. But I mean, you see that in his time as Washington's head coach. A lot of guys are coming out and just saying like, yeah, man, like, no, or like former players as well. It's like, nice.
It really is one of those situations where I feel like as a coach, especially a former coach who has been criticized by former players before, you got to know at times things not to tweet about, and maybe saying, if I have ever put you in this situation, I'm sincerely sorry. I think mentally, like, you had to know that that could backfire on you, right? Like, you were calling out like, hey, to all my former players, sorry that I probably put you in this position. And you opened up the door of, if I have, tell everyone. And that's exactly, he probably is most famous former player. Unfortunately, jumped right at the opportunity. So a tough night for Jay Gruden. Honestly, a tough few years for the Gruden family, to be honest.
Yeah. And it's like, dude, just seeing that, like seeing him tweet that and talking about Sirianni, it was like the Spider-Man meme, like when they're like pointing at each other and they're just like,
yeah,
and it's the same exact person. So yeah, I don't know what he was trying to accomplish by tweeting that. I get like, you're gonna tweet something if you're watching the game, but just think before you put that out in the Twitterverse or the Xverse or whatever you want to call it. And before you
like
get
we said, don't
players,
double down. Don't
double
down. Don't start calling out players.
These aren't like former like no-name players. Like these are like legit names calling you out. If it was like a practice squad guy from your time that's like, I don't like Jay Gruden because of this, it's like it's Brian Mitchell and Robert Griffin III. Like those are two big names.
Puts it well. You know what? Takes the heat off the quarterbacky chick. So you know what? At least another quarterback is in the, I guess, former quarterback at this for RG3. Yeah, just a bad RG3. Always find I do love RG3's Twitter. I know people are up in the air on that. I see a lot of
people. It's like,
yeah, he is. I agree. He's very corny. I think there are a lot of posts where he is. I'm like, why would you post this? But sometimes he tweets stuff that is just so like, I think that's what, sometimes he tweets stuff that's so cringy that you're like, I have to like appreciate it. Like, I'm like, why did you sit there and think that was what you needed to type?